Hey, what's up guys? Rev here. Today we're going to look at an article from the respected news source, The Gamer, talking about all of the problems with the character Rebecca from the Cyberpunk Edgerunners anime. Now, I will forewarn you, the amount of coping and seething in this article is unmatched. Okay, this whole thing is a light novel explaining all of their problems with Rebecca, and all of them completely ridiculous. But you can see the title, Cyberpunk Edgerunners Rebecca highlights anime's bizarre obsession with lolly characters. Celebrating her lolly identity is a tiny bit weird. Well, they go beyond a tiny bit. They say it's actually a pretty big deal. But let's skip right into the meat and potatoes here. For a bit of context, a lolly is a childlike female character found in anime and manga. They won't always be underage. They seldom are, in fact, but are designed to resemble a young girl in their figure, while often supporting an attitude that goes far beyond their years. Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. While it's not a perfect definition of the term lolly, it is better than 99% of Twitter users. I'll give them that. They keep dancing around the fact, and they keep saying childlike, petite body. That's a much more fair way of explaining it. But nonetheless, they go on to say, I can think of countless examples from great shows that are dragged down because they are for some reason committed to providing this gross bit of fan service. Now, name 5. You say there's countless. Name 5 where a lolly character ruins a series, which again, a lolly character is not inherently sexual, but in this case, they're going to talk about how Rebecca is. So, otherwise, a stellar characters are ruined by the fact that they look like a small child, but are actually a 9,000-year-old dragon or come from another planet or some other nonsense explanation. I'm sorry, are we all forgetting that this is fiction? We're literally talking about fiction, and you're calling these nonsense explanations. You know, do we want to start applying that to every little bit of fiction out there? Like Bugs Bunny. Problematic. I mean, this guy, all he eats is carrots. That's not a very balanced diet. That's complete nonsense. Like, who cares? We're talking about dragon characters. Like, come on. And in this case, we're talking about a futuristic city where people can modify their body to be whatever they want. I mean, nonsensical explanations are okay. Following the show's release, it emerged that CD Projekt Red actually objected to Rebecca's design at first, stating that lollies don't exist in Night City, and thus she would appear out of place. Now, I covered this whole breakdown of this communication between CD Projekt Red and Studio Trigger. I didn't mention this in the other videos, but it's really worth examining. In Night City, the whole purpose is you can be anyone you want to be. You can have any appearance you want. So in my eyes, and in many other people's eyes, there is literally no body type that should be off limits, especially not lolly when it's already a very signature appearance in anime. But to single that out for some reason is not compatible with the city where you can be anything you want to be, that's a little weird, right? Studio Trigger insisted she remain. I'm not surprised at all it fought back, and Rebecca is easily one of the show's best characters, but her design remaining untouched has resulted in rotten corners of the internet, deciding that suddenly having permission to be sexually attracted to a character designed to look underage is a cause for celebration. Now, this is a load of BS. Some of the biggest drama involving Rebecca is people fighting over whether she's a lolly or not, because everybody is celebrating this character, right? The issue is you have aunties who are celebrating Rebecca, best girl Rebecca, hoisting her up, sexualizing her, enjoying the sexualized parts of the show that feature her, and now the problem is that they're realizing she's a lolly because they don't know what the definition of a lolly is, even though they use it to judge other people. But nonetheless, everyone is enjoying Rebecca, and why shouldn't they? She has a petite body type. Petite women exist, and just as the author already stated, this has nothing to do with age, and in this case, Rebecca is an adult as well. So I don't understand any sort of issue sexualizing this character. I mean, besides the fact this is fiction. I mean, let's remind ourselves what we're talking about here. This is fiction. We're talking about anime, not real people. Rebecca looks nothing like a human being. This little gremlin, she's very cute, But this little gremlin looks nothing like a real human being. Zero resemblance. So as far as I'm concerned, do whatever you want to it, because there's no connection to the real world with this gun-toting, dual-wielding gremlin lolly, okay? Come on. And it goes on to say, oh god, excuse me while I call the FBI on your sorry asses, because that outlook twists a positive part of the show into something to be ashamed of. Yeah, the calling the FBI, what is this, Reddit? Are you trying to get Reddit gold right now? Like, this is the kind of person who goes to, like, artwork featuring a lolly character on Twitter and responds with an FBI open up joke. Like, give me a break. You know, I'm aware that they're probably just making a joke here and trying to be dramatic, but please don't bring up the FBI when we're talking about goddamn drawings for the last time, because the FBI and other agencies helping out sexually exploited children have gone on the record publicly and begged people to stop wasting their time and resources filing complaints about fictional characters, because they are inactionable and taking resources away that could be used to help real-life victims. That sort of attitude is actually hurting real-life children. So, pardon me if I get a little tweaked out seeing a stupid joke like that. Again, over a fictional cyber lolly from an anime series. A sign that anime has failed to and might never mature. No, you need to mature. You need to learn to separate fiction from reality. You can say it's a cultural thing, but Edgerunners is an adaptation of a Western property that both CD Projekt Red and Studio Trigger knew would be seen by an international audience, and these cliches would stand out more than ever when held up against an existing universe. Let me just absorb that for a second. So you're saying this sexualization of lollies is this gross FBI open up kind of a thing, but then you're calling it a cultural aspect of Japan. Are you somehow implying that the Japanese are like, their culture is predatory towards children? Is that what you're saying? And that the West is now being exposed and shocked by these sorts of things that were never a problem until everyone decided they were on Twitter over the last couple of years? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. That's precisely what happened, and I'm not surprised at all. And Rebecca's design wouldn't even be a point of contention if this wasn't brought up. You're bringing it up. I'm sorry. I think the idea of shorter and petite women not existing at all in this dystopia is incorrect, but Rebecca doesn't always lean into those qualities with good intentions. If she's a petite woman, she can do whatever she wants. This is another example. This is like body shaming. What, because she has a petite build? I mean, petite women exist in real life. Are you saying petite women in real life can't be sexual or sexualized? Bro. Her opening scene involves answering a door wearing nothing but her underwear, holding a gun against our hero's head as her outlandish personality is placed front and center. Okay. And you think that's like a crazy thing to do? Oh, I love this part. We are expected to examine her figure. I feel like this person like paused on that opening scene where she's opening the door in her underwear and they examined. Saying you're examining a character like that's probably the creepiest thing I've read in this entire article, if I'm being honest. But yeah. Taking in her small height, flat chest, and immature figure at face value like it's something to be admired. This is the greatest phrase I've ever seen in my life. Immature figure. Wow. Imagine you meet a girl in real life and she's got a very petite frame and you say, wow, I admire your immature figure. You'd get slapped, bro. Like, I can't believe people talk like this. They think they're the ones with the logic and reason here. Like, I'm the reasonable one. I'm the one body shaming. I mean, No, I'm defending the robot lolly. Like, get a grip. Small nuggets of dialogue and further character development comes to paint her as a mature person capable of violence and personal introspection. She isn't underage, and neither is anyone else in the main cast, but Rebecca is the one whose existence is framed to resemble a young girl in ways that get under my skin. You're pissed. You're pissed. So what? The petite girl is put in the situations that make you uncomfortable. Maybe stop thinking about kids so much, man. Oh. I know plenty of women in real life who have Rebecca's body type. And it's awesome to see that represented in a show like Edgerunners, but certain fans are now championing the fact that Studio Trigger has given them permission to crank it to an attractive child. How is that not effed up? This is like the ultimate thing aunties do. I swear to God, no one thinks about what people are jerking or not jerking than aunties. Aunties, this is all they think about. All they think about is whether people are jacking it to fictional characters. They're like, oh, you see that fictional child? I bet you're jacking it, huh? No. You know, first of all, I don't care what people do to fictional characters. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I think you guys all know that. But I think it's lost on people like this that you can just enjoy a character and even be introduced to sexualized scenes with them without pulling your pants down. Like, it's weird. That the messed up thing here is that all you boil Rebecca's character down to is sexual in nature in jerk-off material. While you also try to call her a mature person and a deep character and one of the best characters in the show, but then 2 seconds later you reduce her to that. Rebecca is cute, capable, and accomplished character in her own right, but now the entire conversation has shifted to her lolly identity and how out of place it is within the universe of Cyberpunk. No, it is not. No, it is not. CD Projekt Red brought that up, and they were shot down, and look at CD Projekt Red now. They are very happy with their decision. They have celebrated Rebecca because they know she has pulled in a lot of people to watch this show, and she ended up being a great character. This is classic Studio Trigger, and characters like Lucy and Kiwi are subjected to the same full frontal treatment throughout Edgerunners' 10 episodes. Then don't watch. Everyone knows what you're getting into when you're watching Edgerunners. There's nudity, there's tons of sexual themes, violence. Like, this is like watching like Scarface and being upset that there's gun violence and drugs. This isn't a problem unique to a single studio, but a systematic problem with the medium and how for decades it has come to rely on sexually charged archetypes as a means to an end. Their presence is required or have become so entrenched in what defines anime and manga that taking them away is viewed as sacrilege. I'll let you guys comment your responses to that. I don't even care anymore, dude. Let's finish this up. Last paragraph. The same circles celebrating the presence of Rebecca as a purebred lolly are the same who accuse game developers of being groomers whenever a transgender character is introduced, or woke if same-sex romance that isn't focused on the male gaze happens to be placed front and center. Okay, multiple things. This purebred lolly thing. Not even the most degenerate of lolicons would use creepy terminology like this. I have never heard of anyone say something like a purebred lolly. Where do they come up with this stuff, man? And then obviously here they're making a comparison to Bridget and the whole controversy over gender. And I, for one, in all of my videos, I was consistent saying until the developers confirmed one way or another, you could have easily had evidence support that Bridget was a boy or Bridget was trans. And then they did come out and say Bridget was trans. And I, like most people, accepted that. Even if I think it's the product of bad writing. Bad writing not because he's trans, but bad writing because they did a 180 on her character. But anyone accusing the game developers of being groomers, what, like a couple schizos on Twitter? Like, they're obviously idiots, okay? And forget the whole other part, but let's just finish up. Everyone is pushing a liberal agenda until an agenda fits their own. I can't defend these people, nor do I want to be associated with them. And suddenly standing Edgerunners because it isn't bowing down to a non-existent pressure almost makes me want to walk away from that too. Good. Walk away. It sounds like you hate this series. It sounds like you hate this series. It sounds like you hate many of the tropes featured within this series. And it sounds like you hate the medium of anime as a whole. And you have a pretty terrible attitude towards not only the medium, but really just Japanese culture as a whole. I got nothing else. This is a garbage article. This is just complete coping and seething. This is like what would happen if an auntie on Twitter was able to write an article for someone. This is what you get. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Hope all the people who can separate fiction from reality enjoyed this video. And Rebecca, best girl, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.